Oh, my
penalty.
gosh. Looks like their coach has come into the game.
Into the game, number 3, as they're going to try to give a break to a few legs on the bench. Famiglietta, we believe, is normally their coach, but he's into the game.
And he
scores immediately with the back heel flick.
Hey.
You got to love indoor.
Yep, you have to love the indoor game, right? I mean, that's a great goal. I mean, he must be a goal scorer because that's a goal scorer's goal right there. Oh, my gosh. Looks like their coach has come into the game.
Into the game, number 3, as they're going to try to give a break to a few legs on the bench. Famiglietta, we believe, is normally their coach, but he's into the game.
And he
scores immediately with the back heel flick.
Hey.
You got to love indoor.
Yep, you have to love the indoor game, right? I mean, that's a great goal. I mean, he must be a goal scorer because that's a goal scorer's goal right there.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the Run as One soccer show for the 5th season of New Mexico Runners Professional Arena Soccer. I am the owner, Andres Trujillo, team owner here, CEO, and I have with me my co-host, Ed Nunez, the legendary Ed Nunez. What's up, buddy? How you doing, Ed?
Hey, Andres, I'm doing well, man. And when you say you're, the CEO, the chief bottle washer, uniform designer, bus driver, promotions guy. One of the games I watched today, when a goal is scored, the lights go off. It's a show, man, and there's a lot of goals scored. So getting geared up for your 5th season here in Rio Rancho, New Mexico.
Absolutely. And so, yeah, man, I'm really excited for today's show. Today's show, we have a treat. You viewers have a treat as well. We're going to be talking about some local soccer highlight action, and we're going to have guest coach, La Cueva Boys soccer head coach, Easy Jimenez, talking about his run so far this season. Nationally ranked, Ed, nationally ranked. That's going to be fun to talk to head coach Jimenez.
Well, you know what? They play Hobbs tomorrow in Hobbs. They're both nationally ranked. Hobbs is number 1. They're undefeated under Reyes Marquez, the coach out there, and La Cueva's undefeated. I've went over a little bit of some statistics here. We'll get to those. But I've got goosebumps about that game because James Yotis tweeted out about it this morning. Coach Jimenez has had some great success there at La Cueva. He was an assistant coach for a while, and he's been a coach of the. He won one state championship here, but has had an extensive background in soccer as an assistant coach and a player. And I'll tell you what, I'm excited. I know he's got it 24 hours before. I think I was saying that to a coach yesterday on the sports desk. If you've competed, that feeling of competition never goes away, even if you're not competing anymore. It doesn't go away. And so I'm really excited for Coach Jimenez. The bus, I can see the bus ride down there and how he's going to prepare his team. When you drive to Amarillo, when you drive to Kansas City, it's the same thing. You got to get geared in, mentally focused. How are we going to handle this? And doesn't mean the season's over. Someone's going to lose and win. But tomorrow, number 1 versus number 2, nationally ranked. This is a big
That's
one.
a big thing for New Mexico,
yes,
brother. And we'll get to Coach Jimenez in just a few. But also on today's show, we're going to be recapping our 5th season tryouts that just took place this past weekend. So we'll be featuring a little bit of video footage about that and kind of going over what we see for the upcoming season roster. Also, we'll be talking a little bit about what we're to expect this 5th season, especially with the first home game coming up this December. And we want everybody to get out and check out the New Mexico Runners' exciting pro arena soccer action. The Runners One Soccer Show is built on soccer for New Mexico at all levels. Even though we talk about Major Arena Soccer League action, we want to feature local soccer from youth club, high school, collegiate, and beyond. And it's just part of that, that package to bring New Mexico soccer, elevate it, and really just make New Mexico soccer a thing, Ed. And so, you talked a little bit about Coach Jimenez, and I'd like you to kind of roll out the red carpet for Coach Jimenez on the show, Ed. You know Coach a little bit better than I do, so man, I'm excited to introduce him. But Ed, I'm going to let you do the honors for that.
Coach Jimenez, the Bears come in at 10-0, and they're going to be facing, we mentioned the Hobbs Eagles tomorrow, who come in with a record of 12-0. Hobbs on the season has scored 3.08 goals per match and allowed 0.8 goals per match, while La Cueva has scored 3.5 goals per match and allowed 0.3 goals per match in 10 games. So it's going to be a great matchup, and I think Coach Jimenez was featured with Jared Chester last week, and it was a great feature. And Coach, welcome to the show, man. I know I'm excited for you. I mean it. The adrenaline's flowing. James, I'm not even playing. I wish I would go down there and be able to cover it. But Coach, tell us a little bit about tomorrow's matchup against number 1 Hobbs. You're number 2. You're both nationally ranked. Give us a little preview of what we might expect to see.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to appreciate you having me on the show. It's an honor. I heard good things from you guys, so look forward to seeing your new season. Tomorrow we'll jump on the bus and go down there. It's been a teeter-totter because we were number 1, but because we played a tournament before them to be city champs, then they just played a tournament. But, like you look at the ranking, it's like 0.12. It can't be any closer than what it is. Hobbs is really dangerous in their midfield and up on top. I have one of the best defense, like we talked about in the nation. I put on the news. We've only allowed 3 goals. 2 of them were penalty kicks. So it's going to be a battle down there. I look forward to it. It's supposed to be really hot. They have a nice stadium, a good crowd, and all that. So I pretty much told my boys, this is what you're going to expect as a state game. This could be a state final again, both of us. So just go down and prepare just like it was a state game, and we'll see how it takes place tomorrow.
Coach, one of the things, and I've been around sports many, many years, is the bus ride down there. We always say that our legs, it's a 4-hour drive. It really is legitimately 4 hours to drive, 3.5, 4 hours. We've got to stay focused. We've got to, we want to make sure our guys stretch their legs, things like that. What's your mental focus as far as on the bus? Sometimes kids are, you got to let them relax a little bit too, but I can only imagine how they're feeling about this matchup against number 1 Hobbs. It's the best against the best. And we don't get to see that very much in the state of New Mexico. What's your team's mental approach going into this match tomorrow against Hobbs?
Well, we looked at it as just like we have to treat it just like another game. How we prepared for it, been preparing for the last 5 days just for them. We've been watching a lot of video on them, trying to make sure that we understand our format and shape as we're playing and sticking to what we practice is. I always like seeing practice turn over to a game, then that the boys are understanding. But going down, a lot of boys are getting cryotherapy done. That's something that we started. So a lot of boys will go get that done. It's about 4 or 5 minutes to get into that freeze chamber to cool your muscles down and everything. Then we'll jump on the bus. We'll stop about halfway midpoint, stretch our legs, get something to eat. And then we get there. I know the girls will be playing with us too. The girls are undefeated as well going down. So they play before us at 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock. So, but just getting down there, we know mentally where we're at right now. And my captains are really good captains about making sure that we all understand our preparation and it's time to focus. They understand when it's time to have fun and when it's time to play. So I know they'll be prepared, but they're looking forward to it. I said, if you're going to play the best, be the best. And it's going to be a great game. That's all I can say.
Coach, I got about 2 more questions. I'll turn it over to Andres. Coach, you coached under the great Larry Waters. You're an assistant under Coach Waters. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Coach
Therefore,
I'm sorry.
I think I've been his assistant for almost, I think it was about 14 years. Yeah, I played with him. When the school was first built. He was my coach.
It's funny because when I was at Highland, he was we as a student. That's when I was playing basketball. He was a coach at Highland.
Yeah.
So that's how old I am. But what did you? I have hold Coach Larry Waters in the highest regard. What did you learn from him?
Well, I learned how to build a program and your expectations, and he's built this program. To me, it's a dynasty, and he brought a lot of things that I've never seen before. And he brought me in '94. That was my first year as an assistant. We won a state championship. So, but to be able to see how he ran things, and traditions, a lot of college, everyone has traditions. So we have a lot of traditions that we do before a game, after a game. We have team dinners before the game. We just do a lot of bonding as a team and make sure we're like a family. But I try to make sure that all that stuff never changes. It gets carried on to that. And we just feed off what he has built. He's at our team dinners, banquets and stuff. And I recognize him every time because if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't be here right now. So it's an honor and privilege for me to be a part of this program and him turning it over to me and allowing me to, fill his legacy in his shoes. So
one more question, Coach. You've been at La Cueva for a long time. As an assistant coach, and you mentioned now as a varsity coach, you won a state championship in 2017 and state semifinals, state runner-up, state semifinals, quarterfinals. What's it going to take? And again, it's to a championship in any sport, Coach. I say that. Got to have a break here and there, a call here and there. Things got to go your way. What's it going to take for the Bears to hoist up that blue trophy in 2023?
Well, it's going to take a lot mentally and physically being prepared. Last year you had Cleveland. That was the first time I think anybody over a 5 seed won the state championship with the new format 1 through 12. So at any given day, if your mindset and you say we're going to win this and do that, you can do it. Well, Cleveland proved everything right last year. So you can't look at a 12 seed like they're a 12 seed. You know what I mean? So coming in, we have to really make sure that we understand our positioning. I think that's the key thing. If I'm a right back, what's my job duty? What am I looking for? If I'm a forward, of course you want to score goals, but it's about how getting the ball. So I try to make sure that each individual knows and understands their position. If they do that, and I have 11 guys on the field that understand and have heart, I can't teach the heart. The heart has to come from you. But if they understand their job and they want this really bad, I always say for my team, if I have 11 guys that are all doing that, then we're dangerous. So I would pretty much tell you, then I don't see why we would not be in the state final or winning it. So hopefully when we're there, we treat it just like that. So once again, this is an important game for us, but let's just say it goes wrong. We still got another 9 games. I got district and we just got to move on. It's just like any other sport. I can't say my whole season just went down the drain because of one game, but it's a good test to play someone like this. It really knows, like we've just played a Trisco twice and they're getting better and better. With 2 losses, they're ranked 5th. So, and they're from us. So they're really a good team. So I look forward to playing Hobbs, see what they have and stuff. And it also makes us see how we are as a team just as well and how we're improving in order for state. So
now, Coach,
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and that's all fantastic. I think that's phenomenal. How the program's come so far. With that in mind, what is your opinion on the state of soccer at the high school level in New Mexico currently? I mean, obviously you got 2 nationally ranked teams, that are in New Mexico, and that's just a great thing for the soccer scene. But in your opinion, where do you see soccer, at the high school level, in the near future? I mean, what do you got?
So I know a lot of people are down on high school soccer. Club's huge. I played club. I won 6 state championships on club, and it's also like a business just as well. And you get to go out there, you see more coaches and be part of more tournaments and get the look. So, which is huge. But as far as New Mexico, since I've even been playing, New Mexico is getting better and better and better. I mean, I could just see back then when I played at UNM, for the 4 years there with the Lobos, and to see how far it's gotten. Grazak was the goalie at La Cueva, and Grazak went to go, made it to the final game, and now he's coaching, I believe, at Notre Dame. And it's just awesome to see how everything's just growing. New Mexico soccer is growing. It always has been. It's getting better and better with that. So high school, there's a lot of good high school coaches out there. I don't want everyone to bag high school, about the training and certain things like that. So high school's come a long way. I just know what my expectations are as a coach and what I hold as a player, me playing professionally and college ball with that. So I want to make sure that they're getting every example of what, if you enter college, what it's about. And like I teach them, it's about on and off the field, how you are as a person, as an individual, how you carry yourself, and also as a player. With that being said, I think it's going to go huge. So when you have college coaches come here to New Mexico or you're seeing us play out there, I'm hoping that I'm helping my boys recognize that, who they are and their talent wise and stuff. But New Mexico, like I said, I could have gone other places to play, or I could have coached at other places, but I love New Mexico. I love everything about it. I love the kids. I love high school soccer. I think it's great. It's a different atmosphere, and it's something to appreciate. When you walk into our school, you can see trophies and stuff. But nevertheless, I see some really awesome talent out there, and I wish, unfortunately, UNM soccer is not around anymore, which is something I was a part of, and I wish they would come back. I mean, that was huge, just huge. But meeting New Mexico Chile, and now they have New Mexico United. It's awesome. I got 3 of my boys on there right now, and 2 of my other boys a couple of years ago are on there now. 4 of them dressed up for that game with what was it? What was the team's name? The European team that came.
Oh, I can see the logo in my mind right now. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But they would, for me to see them suit up, and then from Albuquerque for them to suit up and be there. Oh, that was huge. I mean, that's so awesome. So we have so much talent here. I don't think anybody realizes or recognizes how much talent we have on club and high school soccer. I mean, I wish the Division I would come back. I'm sure we could at least have a good solid 10 players every year, be on the team. So
absolutely. And
or even play for you.
Yeah. Well, you make a great point. We've had a lot of standouts. Nick Legendry, he's playing in a full ride scholarship at Notre Dame right now. Having him on an amateur contract with us and playing with us, him his brother as well, Gabe Legendry. So they played with us during high school, on amateur contracts, and actually did an outstanding job, scored major goals, against national competitors, national teams. So when you see the state of soccer in New Mexico as it is right now, I feel like we're just barely, cracking the surface. I think there's so much more for New Mexico soccer and more opportunity, like you mentioned, for these boys to find a pathway to compete at a higher level. And so, with coaches like yourself, instilling this mental picture of how things can go for the future and investing in New Mexico soccer, Coach. I just think what you're doing is a fantastic job for what we got going on here for our local athletes.
Well, I truly appreciate that. Yeah, I enjoy my job. I don't do anything else. It's about the boys, and I just like to see them grow. When you have somebody for 3 or 4 years, just like any program, I just like seeing them grow as an individual and as a player. And it's when I hear the good things that, hey, Coach, I just had 2 guys come back from college recruiting, and they gave them a scholarship. They won it. So when they came back and told me that, I'm like, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That makes me happy for them and how much they enjoy the game. And I tell them, hey, it doesn't matter, if it's D1, D2, 3, NAIA. If you can get some scholarship and you go play the game you love, go get a free education, go enjoy soccer, and you don't know where it's going to take you. You meet friends. It doesn't matter the D1 status. You can be a national champion at Division 2. Sounds great. Division 3, you're national champs. I don't know what else to tell you, but it's awesome.
Absolutely. And while, as we wind down this segment here, Ed, you got any final thoughts with Coach Jimenez?
Coach, one thing, and it's like I said, I've been around sports a long time, and I love to hear things about best on best. They always talk about that, right? Best on best, and tomorrow's best on best in the state. One of the things that you felt, and one of your players said this too, you feel like you can compete with any team on a national level. You're nationally ranked, so I think going into tomorrow's game, while you feel confident, you have to feel not cocky but confident. You have to feel pretty good about where the Bears are as far as where their rankings are. You still got to go prove it on the field. But I thought that comment there that you felt like you could compete with anyone nationally, you don't hear that from a lot of New Mexico teams. You really don't. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. The Cueva's built that reputation, but you got to feel pretty good about where the program is right now.
Yeah, when the season started, I knew what players were coming back, and there was 2 players that they had transferred last year and they couldn't play varsity. So I'm actually having them on my team now. But we brought a lot of young kids back. I knew I was probably going to lose 2 to United, but after what we've had and what we achieved so far, I mean, what's in front of you is in front of you. And I have amazing players, and they just keep getting better and better. So why we made that statement, we believe that. I tell the boys, it's good to have a little cockiness. You need to have some cockiness. It just, when's the right time to say something, when is it not to? But you got to believe in yourself. We believe in ourselves, believe in our team. We believe in everything that we're doing. I mean, if you're not invested every day in what you're doing, I'm trying to send that at high school, but you got to be invested every day, what you could practice, your games, the person next to you, how he's feeling. But if you can do all that, yeah, that's why I feel like we can play with anybody. My kids are in it and we're focused. And, I know that's why we're nationally ranked right now. But we feel, like I said, I have an awesome team, but my defense is something else. Like, you should see my defense and my goalie. I mean, they're pretty awesome. And I believe defense wins you games. They can keep you in games, and, we can find a way to score. So far, everyone on my team has a point. They've either scored a goal or have an assist in 10 games. And we've done that the last 4 years. I think that's what's making us a special team. That's pretty much unheard of when every player has done something, an assist or a goal. So it's, like I said, I'm excited to go to Hobbs and play each other. And it's gonna be a doozy. But it kind of sees me where, hey, this is what it's about. Right in the middle of the season, it's good to play someone really tough and go on, and we'll go for district. But I'm excited. It's gonna be a game. So we'll see how it goes.
It's gonna be a good one. Well, Coach, I appreciate your time, and Ed appreciates your time. We appreciate your time. Like I said, the show's all about really promoting local soccer at all levels, and soccer is such a huge sport to the world, and we really want to bring it out in our community, in our state, and whatnot. And we got to get your boys out to Runners game this season, and perhaps if there's something you're interested in, hey, maybe do a little scrimmage with another school before one of our home games this season. We would really love that.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That sounds good. I think that'd be great. I love indoor soccer, so it's awesome to watch and stuff. But I really appreciate both of you for having me on and just doing what you're doing, and keep it up, guys. And we just keep promoting New Mexico soccer as more that we can. It's it just helps out the situation all around. So thank you guys.
Absolutely. And my wife is a La Cueva alum, so she said, "Go Bears."
Hey, there you go. Go Bears. I like it. That'll work.
So, Coach, be safe on your trek down there to Hobbs, and good luck, and get that W, and we'll talk to you on the other side.
Sounds good. You guys have a good night. Thank you so much.
Coach.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck, Coach. Now, Ed, I got to tell you, what a great interview. I mean, talking about the epitome of what high school soccer should be, and Coach Jimenez has that, and so I just think that's awesome that we're able to get Coach on to talk about that. That is just so fantastic.
You know what? I'm that guy, right? Best on best, number one versus number two. I was able to officiate a lot of those high school basketball games back in the day and feel jazzed. I told you get jazzed about it. Of course you do. And so just to hear him talk about the trip down there, how are we going to prepare? What are the players' mindsets going down there? And Coach is right. He's got more games to go besides tomorrow. It's not going to be the end of the world for whoever loses. They're going to live to fight another day. But still, I'll tell you another thing, Andres. To me, it's better to win on the road sometimes, man. I think it is. You want to win at home, but going there and winning at their home place, at their number one, I think sometimes that's even a better win than winning at home. So I've seen it all from both ends, and I'm glad Coach joined us as well. They built quite a tradition, him and Coach Waters, there at La Cueva High School with boys soccer. So it was great to have Coach Jimenez on.
Absolutely. So with that being said, we had some great things happening this past weekend. We actually had our tryouts. Yes, Season 5 tryouts took place this past weekend at the Rio Rancho Event Center. So we had over 30 athletes participate in this season's tryout, and it was quite honestly awesome to be able to see a lot of new talent come through that we've never seen before. We've had quite a few guys that I would say, I think it was 21 or 22 guys that signed up, that were new, that just played soccer in high school. Maybe they played a little bit in college, are back here in New Mexico and wanted to go ahead and try their hand at getting squared away and possibly getting a spot on the roster of the 5th season of New Mexico Runners' exciting arena soccer action.
I think it's always exciting to see open tryouts because it's someone's dream. Someone sits at home and says, hey, I know I could do that. I should give it a try. Then they're encouraged by, a loved one or someone they played with, and they go out there and show their stuff. And Coach Famoletta said that last week, that he's gotten several players from open tryouts in the past. So I think it's a great thing to see that. Just seeing I think you had a couple of females out there look like as well. So
you actually had one. Yeah, we actually had one female try out, which was pretty cool to see, especially because, it's predominantly a men's sport, and we know that. We see it. But, hey, if a female can compete at the league level, I have no problem with that whatsoever. So it was awesome to see at least one female out there this past weekend trying out, and that's pretty cool.
I think so too. And like I said, you called me after tryouts on Sunday, and you were pretty stoked about what had happened out there. And so it's going to be interesting to see if Coach Famoletta got some players that he might be able to use for this upcoming 5th season.
Yeah, he talked to me a little bit after the tryout, and definitely there's quite a few guys that he really liked, and especially with a couple of new guys that actually drove in from Maryland to try out. So it was really cool to see a couple athletes driving across country to come try out and in hopes of being on the New Mexico Runners squad. So the several that he's has on his short list, they're getting into the pool, and he'll be contacting them here shortly, and so that's pretty awesome. I got to tell you, it was fun. I got to tell you, tryouts every season is like, what that feeling is. Christmas Eve. Presents are coming. Santa Claus is coming. Can't wait to get up in the morning to open those gifts. That is what tryouts, to me, anyways, is for every year, every season. Tryout the day before, the night before, nervous as all get up. You're just like, I gotta, what's gonna happen? Okay, make sure everything's good to go. Make sure, okay, who are we gonna get? Are we gonna get some new talent? And are we gonna see some former guys return? Things like that. So, I definitely akin the tryouts to Christmas Eve, Christmas Day.
Well, you got an eye for that. You've been around that, so when you go out there, you're looking for particular. And Coach Favoletta he's the coach, and he tells you, and you guys talk about it together. So when you're out there and you're watching, you've got a certain thing you're looking for. Coach Famoleta's looking for something. You're experienced, and so I could get the excitement. You might see somebody that really might fit the runner's bill and what you need. So I get that excitement for sure, and you can imagine how exciting it is for some players who maybe haven't gone out on an indoor soccer field and who knows how long. The excitement was there for them, I'm sure, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And so as we, kind of figure things out here with what's going on for the season, I mean, I gotta really plug this in because I think, one of the things people want to know, season tickets. They're on sale. Season 5 tickets are on sale. They start at only $80, all right? $80 gets you 6 home games of action-packed, fun, exciting arena soccer action at the Rio Rancho Event Center. You don't want to miss it. It's fast-paced, high-scoring, live DJ playing music. If you're a soccer fan, if you're not a soccer fan, you're going to love what New Mexico Runners Arena Soccer is all about. So get on out. We run as one in New Mexico. Buy your Season 5 tickets now. They're on sale, and you don't want to miss this action at the Rio Rancho Event Center this season. So real quickly as we wind down the show here, Ed, what do you got to say to folks about New Mexico Runners, and let's how do we encourage more people to support New Mexico's 100% family-owned and operated professional sports team?
I think one of the things we didn't talk about this, and I love him to death, is Sombrero, man, Carlos Tafoya, your PA guy.
Carlos Tenorio II. We got to get him on the show, Ed.
He brings energy, right? He brings energy. And I think, okay, so go to the games. When the goal is scored, light show comes on, and you're going to see there's games the runners score 20, 21. You're going to see a lot of shots on goal. It's indoor soccer, and it can constrain spaces. So you're going to see a lot of opportunities. You're going to see a lot of action. You're going to see a lot of athleticism. And but I think the action is there on the field. You mentioned the runners started out really well last season. They got some injuries, but it's exciting. The other thing is this: I went to your press conference last year for the opening of the season, and I'll be there again. The uniforms design, which you did a great job of. I love the turquoise.
Thank you.
Brings me back to the Lobos when they wore them in 77, 78. I never forgot that. So you're going to see that. The video cam, it's going to pan. I mean, you've got it all. The promotion, the action, the price you just mentioned, $80 for $80 for a season tickets for 2. Is that right?
Yeah, $80 for one ticket, season ticket. Each ticket's $80. Yeah.
You've got it all. It's you mentioned this to me the other day, and I mentioned this to the guys on the Pit Press podcast that we do. Grassroots in New Mexico, New Mexico owned, New Mexico based. Go out and see the runners. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of action, and I think that one of the things that I know about you, me and you are very, very good friends. You put your heart and soul into the whole operation. As you did when you worked for the Duke City Gladiators. You put your heart and soul into that. I remember the on-field promotions. Those are important. So you're going to see a lot of that. It's worth it. Buy a season ticket. You won't be sorry. That's for sure. No,
not at all. And I like to throw out there at people checking in. Shout out to one of our season ticket holders, Seth Muller. Seth is a big time season ticket holder, so he's been coming out to our games for the last few seasons and rock and rolling. So Seth, shout out to you. One of our goalkeepers, Chucky Castaneda, he's checking in. One of our big fans, Kyle Caraway, also Defined Fitness, even checking in with us. And hey, those watching it from Defined, our mascot is willing to do another challenge. I believe our mascot beat one of your trainers in a push-up challenge one time a few years ago. So Rio the Roadrunner is looking forward to another matchup with you. And so we got to give shout out to everybody checking in: Marcela Sanchez, Juan Garcia, Lucia Yeager, and Natalie Geiger. All you guys checking in. We appreciate what you do and supporting the New Mexico Runners and our family-owned and operated sports team. So all right, well, it's time to wind down the second episode of season 5 of New Mexico Runners Run as One soccer show. So Ed, we gotta line things up, get another special guest on the show for next week. those tuning in, we don't want you to miss out on this. And, unfortunately, head coach Famoletta was unavailable this evening to give us the rundown of his thoughts on tryouts. So we'll have to catch up with him next week on the rundown for tryouts. So final words, Ed?
You know what? Come with some more enthusiasm next time, baby.
More enthusiasm.
I've got to dial it up with you, man, and my wife. As soon as I get off, she's going to be like, "Can you settle down?" The whole neighborhood. So I have to match your enthusiasm, man, and you always bring it. And you know what? You love your franchise. You love it. You put your, like I said, your heart and soul into it. And I'm behind you 100%, man. So thanks for letting me be on as your co-pilot. I really am having a great time.
Absolutely. And so let's close it out. We got a lot of guests coming up in the coming weeks. The commissioner of the M2 of the league. We're going to bring Chris Conamides on here in the near future as well. And we're going to get his take on everything that's going on within the league, the expansion. The league has 19 teams now. So you got to understand, that is huge. It's the most teams the Major Arena Soccer League 2 has seen to date. So we're going to get at you with that. And so with that being said, get online, NewMexicoRunners.com, share the show, follow us, tell your friends to follow us, buy your season tickets now, and get your seat buckled in, locked in for exciting arena soccer action. So Ed, thanks for joining me as my co-pilot here, and we're excited to see all you at the next show next week.